Hey, what's up, team? This is Eddie Gray from The Modern Creative, and in conjunction with PSP Audioware, I bring to you my production tips. So here I want to talk about PSP InfiniStrip. If you've never heard of this plugin, it is absolutely insane. Such a monster, it can do so much. And so let me play for you just an instance of a working demo. There's no instances of PSP at the moment. And I want to show you the before and after, okay? Here we go, before. All right, sounds pretty flat. It's interesting in some ways, I suppose, but really it's just not there yet, right? There's no guts, there's no meat on the bone, so to speak. So let me go ahead and instantiate all of these various instances of PSP. I'm using the full line, pretty much everything they have to bulk this up, and it sounds like this. So in this series of videos, I'm going to take you from A to Z and show you how I like to use these plugins to get that next level sound. All right, so let's start off with InfiniStrip. What can this plugin do for you? It can provide an efficient workflow where everything that you are pretty much ever going to need as far as mixing is all contained in one place, and the quality is so good. For example, if you wanted a preamp, right, to really beef up your sound, you can add, let's say, a 60s preamp or 70s, which is really good for drums. I like the 80s preamp for transient material. So I'll add this to the signal to gain stage, and then just to create that analog vibe. After that, if you want to just have a couple of filters up in front here, this is really good for processing, getting that underwater sound. So you can just have that at the ready in case you need to make a move. And so I use this just to clean up the bottom and the top a little bit. After that, I'm just going to add a compressor to the mix, and this is going to sound tough, but it's also going to sound like the sound is being swallowed because this FET compressor is kind of intense. Check it out. So again, great sound, sounds formidable, but I'm going to use this sidechain filter, which comes with InfiniStrip, to basically just look at the top end. And so this is such a powerhouse. I've never seen a plugin that has a kind of sidechain filter dedicated to all of the various modules. In doing that, now the compressor isn't going to work as hard. Check this. Again, if I bypass it, sounds like this. And now I'll turn on the sidechain filter, and as you can see, the compressor is looking at the sidechain filter, and it's only going to be listening to the top end, and hence it's not going to be responding and behaving as critically here. Check it out. Good. Without the compressor, we have this. So you can see that we're starting to bring this out to life. Fantastic for processing just a basic two-way stereo file where, like, I just have all the drums on one instance. That could be a mixing nightmare, but with tools like this, makes it really easy to get over the hump, if you will. I then use the channel cue in order to just create a high shelf and just create a little bit of high-end brilliance. So let me go ahead and mute it, and then I'll pop it in here. So if you're listening just to the top end, you can really hear that come to life. This next one is the Precursor, and it's just really great for fine tuning and making great EQ choices. And I use this here to hit 1K and 4K to really bring out the snare. Again, let me mute. I'll bring it in and out. Yeah, so that alone was worth the price of admission, right? Being able to just really get those drums to open up in that way. After that, I like to use expanders in order to create movement in the signal. It's subtle, but if you listen to the hi-hat, you'll hear that bounce. saturators are terrific for really adding that analog flavor. I like how you kind of round out the top end. Doesn't sound as harsh, but it still sounds mean. Here we go. Yeah, every time I add a saturator, I always feel like it just sounds more real, whatever that means. Finally, at the end of the chain, you get the opportunity to gain stage, but also maybe just add a little bit of width. So I like my drums to be as big as possible. So we get this. So again, if you're somebody that's mixing, this is a great tool to have just to give you a lot of different options. If I head over to the pad sound that I have here, it's a great little trick here where I'm using a ducker to essentially get out of the way of the mix. The main melody is going to play this arpeggiated thing, and then the ducker is going to let go of the pad and you'll hear it. Let me press play and you can see that I am looking at the synthesizer here on track number 5. So let me play this out for you. And I think that's one of the best possible uses for any mixer to really capture all the subtleties of a mix. Very subtle, but believe me, you start listening to a session that is track heavy, and all of these small choices are going to make a big difference. So let me go ahead and pull in this mix one more time, and I will bypass InfiniStrip from the drums and the pad here, and let's hear the before and the after. So the pads are taking over, which they're not supposed to do, right? They're supposed to be behind. And so InfiniStrip gave me the opportunity to filter out some of the low ends by using the basic filters. I ducked the signal using Ducker, and then I used a VCA compressor to just kind of keep it nice and neat in the mix. As far as the drums go, that's where I get all my bite, all my power. And again, stay till the end of the series because I have such a great drum trick for you. So stay tuned, but let's listen to what we have now. All right, good people, stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to show you how to get your kicks to slap. I'll see you in the next one.